range. Right. Well, we haven't learned to control the weather yet, but that's something we can look forward to as tomorrow's challenge. Right. We haven't learned to control the weather yet, but that's something we can look forward to as tomorrow's challenge.
Right.
Tomorrow's challenge. Right.
Well, we are indeed back again. Yep, hopefully I've got it right. And if I have, we are live on That's Life But Not As We Know It too. That's Life But Not As We Know It on Odyssey. And I believe we are also live over on Twitter, right? Let's not forget about Twitter or Twitch or Twatter, whatever it's called. To be honest, I'm not there often, but I thought, yeah, we're going to use it, right? We're going to use the tools at our disposal, at least while we can, okay? So I am indeed back again. I was on earlier this afternoon. I feel like I've not left, to be honest. But here we are, back again. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you may be in this mad world that we are in. Where do you even begin, right? Yikes. Yeah, anyway, I hope everyone is doing all right. Tonight, we have basically the return, I guess, of the done previously fought syndrome. Now, it could be new to some people. You might not have heard of it. You might be thinking, what has this guy been smoking? What is he talking about? A syndrome? What syndrome? Done previously fought syndrome, right? Now, it can take a bit of explaining, but once you see it for what it is, you will not unsee it, right? A bit like the agenda, a bit like the spraying. Once you see these things, at least, you can't unsee it, right? And how the agenda works, basically, is that simple. They can use 3 words and 3 words only to completely change a narrative, right? And that is what they do with the done previously fought, right? And we're going to expand on it a bit more, but you'll have to give me 2 minutes while I attend to one of the rugrats.
If they cut me off and throw me off the air tomorrow, it won't mean a hill of beans.
Well, sometimes I go out by myself and I look across the water and I think of all the things what you're doing, and in my head I paint a picture. Since I come home, well, my body's been a mess, and I miss your ginger hair and the way you like the dress. I want you to come on over, stop making a fool out of me. Why don't you come on over, Valerie? Valerie, Valerie, Valerie. Did you have to go to jail? Put your house on up for sale. Did you get a good lawyer? I hope you didn't catch a tan. Hope you'll find a...
Right. We are back again. Yeah. Have I ever said, whatever you do, do not have children? I might have said that before, right? What can you do? When you've got them forever, basically, pretty much. So, yeah. Anyway, we are sorted. What I'll do now is we'll say hello. So once if I can get my breath back, unfit, right? Running. Me, honestly. I'm glad I've got my camera off. You'll see me sweating. sweating buckets, unfit, unhealthy. But like I said, yeah, the syndrome, honestly, it is a clear giveaway, and you will see it for what it is in all her glory, right? And a lot of you have been following the channel for quite a while, and you know all about the syndrome, and you probably see it for yourself because it's always there. And I'll get into it a bit more, but like I've said many times before, the syndrome will end when the deception ends and they come out basically and start being honest, right? Whenever that day comes, the syndrome will be finished. But unfortunately, I shouldn't laugh, but the deception never ends. We live in a world that is flooded with deception. And let me quickly now say hello before I forget. Bloody hell, we've got quite a few, quite a few in the hood tonight, which is great, right? I always get quite surprised. I don't know why, but I'm very grateful. I am indeed very grateful for everyone that comes here. Like I said, I don't know why I get surprised, but I am. I always get surprised by the amount of people that we get. I mean, when I first started out, I honestly didn't think it would last very long. But the longer it's went on, the more I've sort of grown in terms of my relationship with creating content, which was very small way back in mid 2019. But now I kind of have a thirst for it, if you could say that. So let me quickly say hello to the good people that's in the hood tonight. Lachlan's Land, is it? Lakeland? I am terrible with names. You need to come with a good, decent name that I can read, right? We're cursed to live in a world of absolute deception, yeah. I mean, that's the only way I can really describe the world is deception central. Honestly, mainly the tool of use even is the media. That's the main tentacle, the main tool that the hidden hand will use to put out the deception, right? And a lot of people, they lap it up big time. They don't know any different. And of course, these are the people who they tend to believe that their government would never do bad things, right? The government would never do them wrong. They're the people that really need to wake up, right? Let me quickly say hello. Scottish Merlin, yeah, of course. Of course, yeah. We've got a wizard in the hood. And Sue Sprain, like a sprained ankle. There you go. Good to see you back again. And Scott's Armour, our brother. Hopefully I don't collide. I think I'll be all right to be off and get Scott's live later. I like to listen to it when I'm out walking the dog, which is pretty cool. People probably walk past and think, bloody hell, what's that guy listening to? Some mad Ouija beating on about climate and the gender issue. But I really do enjoy it. I like to listen. And I like to comment whenever I can as well. Yeah, out walking the dog. Beans. I say dog, but he's like a horse now. He's that big, honestly. Wow. I'll have to get a video. I was trying to make a new intro. I uploaded it by mistake, but I never had the time. But that'll be one for possibly tomorrow. We'll see how it goes. But good to see Lynn and Hasdak and Scott's Armour, who's live about 8:30 tonight. So maybe Scott can drop in a link in the chat and you can get subbed and you can check it out if not already. Truth Seeker, great name, good to see you. A heat wave forecast in the UK for summertime. What? Yeah, I keep hearing about heat waves like they're a new thing, completely new. The media, wow. You'd think summer had never been summertime before, honestly. Ah, it's summer! It's 30 degrees! Ah! What's going on? Climate change. Ground all the planes. Close down all the factories. Because it's a heat wave. Have we not had them before? Clearly not, right? Clearly not. But like I said, if the spraying is what we think it is, and they've been at it for decades, we are going to witness some real heat. And the only way I can describe it is a hot box, right? And that's on. I've said it before, we're feeling it already. It's not climate change, it's the fucking constant spraying and weather manipulation. Add to that, who knows what's really going on with the weather? There's no blueprint. We can't go by last year, 10 years ago, yesterday. There's no other world to compare it to. I mean, it's nonsense to even think that we can predict what the weather's going to be like. I think, yeah, the world could, weather-wise, it could work in cycles, but who's to say these cycles don't adapt and change over time? I mean, they probably do if there is such a cycle. The weather's a really interesting topic for me. When I say that to people, I always think, yeah, I'm definitely getting old, right? Guy wants to talk about the weather. How long have you got? I mean, it's such a vast subject, and everyone's usually got an opinion on the weather. And from what I can see about me, the past month or so, the weather's not been right. And I'm genuinely putting it down to the spraying for the time being. It's modified weather. It's not natural weather. Yeah, I know a bit about the different cycles as well, which I find quite interesting. But again, there's no blueprint. I don't think you can go by history, to be honest. So what the weather truly holds for the future, in my opinion, that's anyone's guess. But through the spraying, we are going to be in for some terrible, terrible weather. And they've already came out and admitted that that will happen. We covered an article before where they talked about compensation for nations that have been affected by it. Bloody compensation for what? Extreme flooding, extreme heat. So I think at the moment what we're seeing in the media is the preparation for what will eventually be real trouble with the climate, and it won't be by accident either, because the wheel is already in motion. We see what's going on. We see it daily in the sky. Extra. Yeah. Yeah, I've seen it quite. I mean, I don't think I've noticed any increase, but it's been consistent. One of the funniest things that I don't know if I should laugh, but one of the funniest things, I mentioned it on the last Jacobites. One of the funniest things that I've ever heard, honestly, this cracked me up, is when someone said, "Oh, don't worry about the spraying, the chemtrails, don't worry about the spraying, because what they're spraying now is good stuff. It's going to help you, like medicine." And honestly, I shouldn't laugh, but come on. Honestly, what's next? Klaus Schwab's he's one of us. I've heard that as well. That one, that was certainly one that cracked me up. I mean, I don't know. Hopefully one day we'll get through to a lot of these people. Gary as well, in the hood. Good to see our Scottish brother. Relentless for months down in Glasgow. Yeah, I think Scots has mentioned that as well. And it always seems to be over these densely populated areas. I think Frank, our brother Frank, has noticed that as well. He's been keeping an eye on flight paths and so forth. The flight paths are interesting, but I know that airlines also manipulate it by trying to use up more fuel somehow. So the flight path it never adds up. That's another interesting one that we could get into in the future. Spanish chicken. I love a bit of Spanish chicken, to be honest. Not so much the chemicals, though. Right, we can do without them. Certainly them ones. Aluminium. I always kind of wonder if they're spraying aluminium, right? Would that not reflect light back? So, say if you had a high-powered laser, if you shined it on a cloud or a chemtrail, would it then reflect the laser back? I'm unsure. But I mean, I guess these particles are that minute. It wouldn't be like that. It would just light up in the beam. And I mean, a fly would do that as well, so it would be hard to tell. Because I have actually got one and I have tried, but it doesn't quite work how I'd imagine it. That could be one that we could get into in the future as well. Dave A. 010, there you go. The sun used to be yellowish, now it's white hot. Burns like hell. Yeah. Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah, it used to be a yellowy sort of golden yellow. And I think now it's more like an LED light. Unnatural. You can feel it. You can feel it when you're in it. It's like, nah. And you need to get out of it. I'm unsure if that's the spraying or if that's they've replaced the sun with an artificial sun, because we know they're talking about an artificial sun. I think they've already got one. Anyway, we're getting off on stuff here. Right, you're distracting me. We'll go with that. Good to see Jay Hart as well in the hood. She's had good weather. Quality. Not many good days here. Honestly, you would think it was September with the amount of cloud that we've had. It's a bit strange, right? Let's go with that. There's clearly work at play. Good to see Gary as well. Naylor, good to see you in the hood. Let me see. Reality creator. If you can get it right. Good to see you, Jay Hart. I am C, who I did see somewhere. Atlantis, good to see you back again. Scott's Armor, yep. I think we got everyone. Roof, hopefully you're all right. Good to see you back again. Feel free to hit me up anytime. Hasdak, yeah. I think we're pretty much good to go, right? And I need to watch my time. Otherwise, I'll be walking my dog at bloody 12 o'clock at night. Although I've done that before. I mean, he needs walked, right? If you've not got the time to do it at night, then you're not going to wait until the next day. But when I go out, if it's after about 11 o'clock, I never ever see anyone out. Honestly. Thinking back to like times before, I used to see the odd person maybe going about, but now when it's late, I don't seem to see anyone out at all. I'm unsure if people think, nope, I'm not going out tonight, or at night even. So maybe you can let me know if you've noticed anything like that, similar. I guess people might have been, what's the word I'm looking for? Institutionalized. And they've maybe, because of the 2 years in lockdown, they're pretty much still kind of living in a form of lockdown that they might not even know. I think everyone's life's completely changed because of the illegal home imprisonment. That's what it was. And that could be back again by the looks of it. I see Neil as well in the hood. Good to see Neil back again. A pleasure to have you tonight. So yeah, thank you to everyone for jumping on. Let me see if I can work the slideshow. Right, the good old slides. Where would we be without them? Anyway, hopefully everyone's having a good Sunday, right? A day of rest, right? That's what I like to think of a Sunday. Relaxing, basically. Sort of preparing for the week ahead, looking back on the past week. And yeah, sort of getting your bearings for the week ahead, I guess. A Sunday for me is quite a key day. Saturday, not so much. Mainly spent with the kids or at football. No football at the moment, but it's mainly with family. You've got to dedicate time for your family, right? So, tonight we're getting into. I'm going to have to come away from the comments maybe because I'll get distracted. I'm easily distracted, that is for sure. We're going to be getting into the syndrome, right? Now, when it comes to the syndrome, we're basically looking at 3 keywords: than, previously, thought. Now, just by them 3 words, you can pretty much spot the agenda at play. Now, when would it have been? Last week this came out. This would have been the end of last week, right? I think the Friday, possibly. More water is evaporating from lakes worldwide than previously thought. Right. So, water is evaporating from lakes, which I think water evaporates, right? I don't think there's any news in that one. But not only is it evaporating, it's evaporating more worldwide than previously thought. And more of it than previously thought. And this is actually a classic, because when you see the phrase than previously thought, yeah, it might be nothing. There could be nothing to it whatsoever. But there's key elements. While I choke on my coffee, there's key elements that give the game away. All right, and you've got to kind of ask yourself, is there an agenda behind it? And if there is, there's going to be a solution or some form of movement in the way of regulations, restrictions, right? And when it comes to this one, most of the water on the earth is in the oceans. Wow. Most of the fresh water in the world, which makes up only 3% of all the water on the planet, is locked up in the form of ice. Right. Okay. Out of the fractional amount of remaining fresh water, 87% are held in lakes. The amount of water evaporated from lakes is a critical component of the water and energy budgets of the planet. What? A critical component of the water and energy budgets of the planet. Yeah. I must have missed that meeting. Anyone attend that meeting? Right? The budget of the planet for fresh water. Yeah. The amount of water evaporated from lakes. Yeah. About 75% of the heat in the atmosphere is transferred through evaporation of water from the surface of the earth. Right. So it's a natural occurrence, this water evaporation. I'm pretty sure everyone knows that, right? But again, they'll push something that's really common and make it out to be a completely different story. A bit like the heat waves at the moment in summer. Shock horror, right? But this one it's a classic syndrome. It's a classic example of it. There you've got the phrase, right? A dead giveaway. Is there an agenda? Well, there clearly is an agenda here. 3 key points from it. More water is lost from reservoirs than lakes because they increase the surface area of lakes. There has been a trend of increasing water loss from lakes because of evaporation. How do they know that, right? How could they possibly measure that? In the final one, the data collected is highly detailed and granular and can be used to inform, policymakers. And that, my friends, is the syndrome in her glory, right? By using that three words, they've manipulated a narrative. And what's going to come out of it? Policies. And I can tell you right now, they will not be good policies, if there even is such a thing. A classic example, that. This one here, 4 days ago, going back to last week. Rate of Arctic warming faster than previously thought. Shock horror. Yeah. For years, scientists have known the Arctic is among the most rapid warming regions on the planet. Yeah, is it? With temperatures rising significantly faster than the global average. What's the global average? I don't think there is such a thing. There can't be. Now they say it may be heating up even faster than previous research suggested. Dun, dun, dun. Run to the hills. The Arctic is melting. I guess that'll mean more fresh water, right? To replace the already lost fresh water that evaporated away into nowhere. Yeah, it must have went somewhere, of course. There's no destroying water. It's indestructible. It can be ice, liquid, or steam. You can't destroy it. It's invincible, basically. Not so much ourselves. Right? I guess, yeah, maybe we are and we just don't know. So it's heating up even faster. Shock horror. Did anyone expect anything else from this? Several recent studies indicate the Arctic is now warming around 4 times as fast as the rest of the globe. Wow. It's a substantial update. I bet it is. Until recently, scientific papers and news reports alike have typically stated the Arctic is warming at 2 to 3 times the global average. Yeah. And now it's heating up even more. We skipped ahead there. I thought I had another slide from that. But again, the Arctic is one that we're going to see quite a lot in the syndrome. It's a regular already. I think on my now terminated channel, I think we done about 50, maybe 60 episodes of the syndrome. And when I first started it, I was a bit unsure. I thought, well, maybe it's not what I think. I can tell you now, it is what I think. It is so clear to see. And you might not see it, but I can tell you eventually you will. Without a doubt. Here's one here. Another classic, right? The Independent, 1 week ago, going back to Friday. Pornography may damage men's view of women less than previously thought. So they're defending pornography now. See, they can use it in whatever way they see fit. What they probably should have came out and said was that it does probably damage men's view of women more than previously thought, not less. Especially the kind of pornography that you get today. It is honestly sickening. It's not this pornography that I grew up when I was a young boy in the 90s. It's not like that anymore. It is dangerous, dangerous stuff. But here they are basically trying to say that through their studies and their scientists and their Scottish universities, that watching pornography may not be as detrimental to how men view romantic partners as was widely believed. And it was research that got done at I think it was Abertay University or St Andrews University, one of them, in Scotland, of course. Where else would it be? But I really don't buy this. Not with the sick graphic pornography that they have today. It is doing serious damage. But here they are basically promoting it. It might only be me that thinks that, but I can't see the comments at the moment. Let me see. We're still going at least, right? Yeah. I mean, I think it would have a negative effect, especially the stuff that they put out. It is horrific. It really is. I kind of feel grateful that I grew up when I did. I mean, it is. It's quite sickening. Honestly, don't even go and look. I know you was thinking about it, Frank. Don't bother, right? Dave said it's wicked. Yeah, it is wicked. Yeah, but not in a good sense, right? I mean, it's horrific. It really is. And some of the storylines and stuff like that, it is so messed up, honestly. And you've got young teenagers watching stuff like that, not knowing any different. It's really strange. I think it plays into the part of basically demonizing a relationship between a man and a woman, the family, right? I could be wrong, but that's my opinion on that one. We might get back into that again. Not really a subject that we cover, but it is. It's grim. A lot of the stuff that goes about today. It really is. The Guardian, 2 weeks ago. Early human ancestors, 1 million years older than. Sorry. 1 million years older than earlier thought. Not previously thought. Sometimes they'll do this as well. They'll change it because they've used it that much. They'll have to change it to earlier thought. Science Daily, we'll touch on them. They're the champions at it. Honestly, it's insane. It is so clear. So early human ancestors, 1 million years older than earlier thought. Right? Of course, it's in the syndrome. We're not that stupid. They don't confuse us just by changing one word, although they'll confuse me. Oh, man, my coffee. And of course, anyone who's followed the syndrome from the beginning, when it comes to human ancestors, if you want to call them that, or evolution, if you like to call it that, it's in the syndrome big time. I can tell you right now, when it comes to evolution, it is a manipulated narrative. Honestly, clear as day. Does that mean that there is a God? I don't know. It could well mean that. There likely is. In my opinion, there probably is. Do we know what it is? I doubt it very much. I don't think we'll ever know. I don't think we'll ever be able to fully comprehend what exactly we are. At least not in this realm. Maybe in the next realm, you might find out a bit more or less. Who knows, right? But I'd imagine, yeah, I certainly would rule nothing out, right? I'm never one for ruling anything out. But when it comes to evolution, it's a bigger con as the pandemic narrative. It's like a carbon copy. And it was in the syndrome since we started it. I knew it would be, because I had my suspicions about it. Everything that I thought would end up in the syndrome has ended up in the syndrome. It's all part of the agenda. Evolution. I'm unsure where they're actually going with that. I think they might eventually come out and say that it's not what they thought, evolution. So look out for that one, right? Who'd have thought Darwin could have been wrong, but I think he is. Seemingly fossils from South African cave are 3.4 to 3.6 million years old and walked the earth at the same time as East African relatives. Right. Again, these are the kind of things they portray it in schools and stuff like that, educational systems, like they know. This is what happened in 6.5 billion years ago, and this happened, and this happened, and this happened, and this happened, and then this happened. And then they come out and say, well, actually, it never. Or actually, that was different. Or it's different from previously thought. Classic, right? For some reason, we've got a bit of an issue here with the slide, which is not good, right? What have I done? How have I messed this up? Right, let me see. I might have to play a tune. There should be. We're only on slide 10. There's meant to be 23. Oh man. So we're a few short. What I've done even is fucked it up. So what I'm gonna have to do is save it. I never saved it before when I was editing. I'm an idiot, right? You've got to give me a chance, honestly. The tap water that we get here is actually not that bad, but it's probably full of all kinds of chemicals, right? Because it comes from all the main plants, if you like, systems. The whole system's run by AI. If the electric goes down, that'll go down. You won't get water in the UK. You won't get your toilets flushed. I think saving up on water or water purifying equipment is probably a good idea, to be honest. I know my good two friends from England who came up I think 2 years ago. They were shocked at how clear the water was here. And you can drink it, no problem, from the tap. It's crystal clear. But the water he talked about in London, oh my God, yuck. I wouldn't even give it to my dog, honestly. Oh, it sounded horrid and all cloudy and white. I think it's scum, they call it. I mean, oh, honestly, I think filtering is a good idea. It's never something that I've tried, but I mean, it's down to the individual, I guess. I tend to just drink it straight from the tap, but that's probably not a good idea, to be honest. I know that in America as well, in England, drinking from the tap is a complete no-no. And I can understand why, to be honest. So I think, have I got this? Let me see if I've got it sorted right. I don't want to have to play a tune again. The slides. 7. I think that must be it there. You'd think I would know by now to come prepared, right? If there's something to be messed up, I'm going to mess it up, without a doubt. Lots of good comments. I think I've got it. Let me see. I think we're cooking now, right? Cooking by gas. Yeah. So we got to, sticking with the ancestors being older or earlier, whatever it may be. It seems to be each. It seems to be both from time to time. They can never nail a date, right? Of course, they can't carbon date. They can't carbon date a fossil or a bone. People think that they can, but they can't. For many years, I thought that they could. I thought, of course, they could. They carbon date bones, right? Well, no, they don't. And a lot of people, especially the sheep, when I talk to them about carbon dating, they think I'm making it up. Of course, they can carbon date bones. They've been doing it for years. Have they? Have they really? So sticking with this one, because the fossils are too old and fragile to test, right? Scientists analyze the sediment near where they were found. Man. Fuck you know. Honestly. The previous dates underestimated the age of the fossils because they measured calcite flowstone mineral deposits, which were younger than the rest of the cave section, the study said. I mean, fuck you know. This cracks me up, it really does. Oh, they're too old and fragile. So anything that's old, can't carbon date it. Forget about it. Oh, we can carbon date sediments and stuff like that. Deposits, mineral deposits, sure. Which could have came from anywhere at any time. It's anyone's guess. And again, that it wouldn't prove how old the fossil is. In no way does it prove how old it is. It simply doesn't. What it might prove how old what they tested is, but not the fossil. Carbon dating is one of the biggest cons going, and that again is another red flag as to evolution being a fucking fairy tale, basically. I mean, it's quite funny because a lot of the atheists and I don't know, science, yay! They'll point their fingers at people who maybe follow the Bible and they'll laugh and say, ha ha ha, he believes in a fairy tale. Little do they know that they also believe in a fucking fairy tale. And what a world we're in, right? It's comical. It is absolutely comical. Honestly. So if anyone talks to you about carbon dating, well, they carbon dated it. Tell them to go away. Honestly, tell them where to go. Tell them to come and see me, right? I see Scotty is in the hood. Our brother Scotty. Good to see you back again. Actually, let me put my phone on charge. There we go. Sorted. I think my phone must be done. And the battery keeps running flat pretty quick. So I think it's had its day, right? A bit like myself. The champions of the world, Science Daily. Now, I say Science Daily are the champions because if you type in to a search engine, DuckDuckGo, for example, I don't know. If you type in Science Daily than previously thought, you're going to be staggered. And you'll basically see the syndrome in all her glory, right? And you could be guaranteed, when I used to do this show every week, and you was guaranteed material, because like I said, the deception never ever ends. It's constant every week. And when it came to Science Daily, they were in it daily. Every week they would be in it with a new study. They're the go-to, right? For all you need to know. This one, honestly, when I read it, it fucking cracked me up big time. I kind of thought, what are they gonna say next, man? Honestly. So, June 27th, 2022. The University of California, Santa Cruz, right? Good old Cali. Yeah. Where do you start when it comes to California? Anyway, study finds chaos. Yep, chaos is more common in ecological systems than previously thought. Oh, fucking hell. Honestly, when I read the first time I read that, I thought, oh man, what are they going to come out with next? Tyranny is more common in ecological systems than previously thought. Cardiac arrests are more common in the human system than previously thought. Yeah, look out for it. So, Billy, what are you wanting? Wait, I sort my son out a sec.
Sorry.
Ah, there we go. My son, my son Billy, he had to tell me that his yo-yo broke. So important stuff, right? Priorities. I'm gonna have to buy a new yo-yo. Kids still use yo-yos, would you believe it? Not often, but he likes his one that's broken. I'm now gonna have to buy a new one. Anyway, where did we get to? When are you coming to Maine? Yeah, in my dreams, right? In my dreams, Scotty. I can't even get away from my house, never mind anywhere else. But yeah, I'm very grateful for your invite. I'm flattered, to be honest. And to be to be fair, if I could, I would take it in a bloody heartbeat. I would be there right now. But yeah, I'm very grateful. Good to see you back again, our brother Scotty and Bill Laden in the hood. Big Bin Laden. I mean Bill Laden, right? Not Bin Laden. Good to see you back again. Maybe it is Bin Laden. I don't think Bin Laden would be here. What was it Bin Laden used to watch again? I think a bit like Hitler. He liked Disney and these theatrical kind of plays and stuff like that. I think Bin Laden was seemingly a big fan of Whitney Houston, if he even existed. Anyway, so yeah, this one cracked me up. It really did. I thought, oh yeah, of course it is. Chaos, yeah, it's more common. The idea that chaos is rare in natural populations may be due to mythological and data limitations, rather than the inherent stability of ecosystems. Right. Of course, yeah, it's a natural occurrence, this chaotic hell that we live in. Of course it is. Yeah. For the new study, the researchers used new and updated chaos detection algorithms and put them through rigorous testing on simulated data sets. Wow, we are not worthy, right? All hail the computer algorithm, the chaos detector. Vote him for president. Chaos detector for 2024. Vote now. Look out for it, right? Then they applied the three best methods to a data set of 127 population time series from the Global Population Dynamics database. Sorry, what? Yeah. Yeah. The Global Population Dynamics Database. Interesting that, right? I think that could be one that we're going to come back to in the future. They think they've got our whole lives planned out, every scenario mapped out, every move mapped out. But I'm not so sure about that, to be honest. Their analysis revealed interesting associations between chaotic dynamics, lifespan, and body size. Chaos was most prevalent among plankton and insects, least prevalent among birds and mammals, and intermediate among fishes. Yeah, interesting that, right? Quote, a lot of short-lived species tend to have chaotic population dynamics, and these are also species that tend to have boom and bust dynamics. Yeah, like midges. And I think their life is chaotic, to be honest. But then, with that in mind, if the human age gets smaller and smaller, younger and younger, shorter and shorter, is that going to mean a more chaotic world of boom and bust dynamics? Are we already seeing it? Yeah, they love their data, right? All hail the data king! Honestly, the supercomputer, he's going to be president at one point. Look out for it. It's going to happen, right? Anyway, we'll move on from that one. The meat industry. I mean, wow. How many more kicks did he want to give it? Honestly, I don't think the meat industry's got long. If you're investing money in the meat industry, you might want to think about changing your your way of working because it's finished. Honestly, it is done. And this came out last week from Wales Online. Any Welsh in the hood tonight? I'm not sure. Deadly superbug found in supermarket meat products. Dun dun dun. Oh dear, a deadly superbug. Yeah, in meat products. Not good that, right? Traces of a deadly superbug have been found in British pork products sold in supermarkets. Tests found that more than 10% of food, such as mince, chops, and joints, had the strain of Enterocci. I think it's Enterocci. We'll go with Enterocci, right? Enterocci bacteria, seemingly a deadly superbug. I'm sure it's Enterocci. I could be wrong. I probably am wrong, to be honest. But they're saying basically they've tested meat and it's got, this bacteria in it. Now, I don't know about you, but surely any kind of testing needs to get done before it goes on the shelf. Would that not make sense? Not in today's world, right? Yeah. 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 And humans. And humans, right? Yeah. Not seen much in the magnetic sense lately. Seems to have died down, the magnetic videos. I think people might have realized that we're actually more magnetic than we thought, which is interesting, right? I think next week, or sorry, at the end of this week, we're going to get into CERN. Dun, dun, dun. What's going on at CERN, right? What the fuck are they up to there? Honest to God, whatever they are up to, it will not be good news, I can assure you. And I know there's videos going about maybe a CERN trying to break the veil, the firmament, whatever you want to call it. I wouldn't rule that out, to be honest. I would not rule that out. They started it up, I think last month, possibly. I would have to check the date. But it's going. And the night they put it on was a bit strange as well. A lot of strange activity in the sky with the different colours and cloud formations. You've got to wonder what it's all about, right? Put it this way, it's not going to be what they tell us. So whatever they tell us CERN is, it fucking is not that. No way. It'll be something completely different. I can see our brother, our English brother, sent some. Good to see you back again in the hood. Salmonella. Yeah. It's called salmonella or something else. That usually is dealt with by cooking the meat properly. It's one of the main reasons we tend not to eat raw meat. Yeah. And again, it's a prime example of them taking something that's pretty common and blowing it up big time, like it's a real threat to your life. I mean, that is so common with the works of the agenda. Salmonella, of course. I think you're on the money there. Sent some. Good to see our English brother back again. Hopefully I can join you next time. I couldn't get on the other night. That would have been quite good, actually. If I had the time, I certainly would have jumped on. So thank you very much for the invite. It was a great live with yourself and DJ, right? It was great. It was good to get a bit of engagement as well. I always like to jump in and put a comment, right? I'm a content creator, but I'm a commenter as well, right? So I was a commenter before anything. So I like to cause trouble in the chat. And I hope your ears are okay. Sent some. I mean, I guess if you spend your whole life on YouTube Live, you're going to get sore ears, right? It's going to happen. Unless, of course, you did phone up them sex chat spam bots and they gave you an earful, right? But yeah, I hope your ear's okay. I think John mentioned that you had a bit of an earache or something. So I hope you're all right, brother. And we'll catch up again. So let me see. Who else did I notice there? MJB in the hood. Contact me if you want to know how SNP kills. To be honest, they kill everyone. Veterans are... I mean, hey, they do come after certain types of people. But we're all victims of the agenda. And that includes victims of the fucking SNP in their tyrannical ways. They are insane. And I would imagine, yeah, they'll be getting rid of veterans without a doubt. They wouldn't want veterans being here to help people out, to guide them, to give them knowledge. They would not want that. That's not the Scotland they want, the SNP. They need taken down. They need stopped big time. So you're in the right place here, MJB. No fan, not one fan of the SNP will you find here, I can assure you. Unfortunately, a lot of people in Scotland are still fooled by it. That might change. Hopefully it will. We'll keep fighting. But if you do have interest in, I don't know if that's the right word. If you do have information that you want to share, I could maybe get you on a live stream in the future. If you wanted to do that, that would be great. And yeah, without a doubt, Lakeland, I think it is. Lakeland's land. Yeah, globalists, without a doubt. Internationalists. Rockefeller lapdogs. Especially Thin Lips Nicola Sturgeon. Wow. I mean, it's always very fitting because these people are never the right people to lead a country, but they are the right people to lead for the hidden hand. Psychopathic, absolutely insane people. Boris Johnson, Nicola Sturgeon, Tony Blair, Theresa May, Ted Heath, Donald Trump, Joe Biden, the Australian guy, the chick or dude from New Zealand, the French dude, the Italian dude, each and every fucking one of them complete and utter mental. Not a care in the world for anyone but themselves. They're the ideal candidate to push forward whatever the hidden hand has in its fucking plans. They don't care about anyone. If they do realise that they care, they won't be in the job very long. They'll step down. There maybe has been people in the past who thought, nah, it's not for me. I can't do it. They would have stepped down and took no more part of it. But the ones who grasp it with both hands, these evil entities, they lap it up like it's some sort of drug, opium. And a prime example of that is Boris, Biden, Trump, Nicola Sturgeon, all these power-hungry entities. I mean, you can spot them a mile away. You really can. I'd imagine that if you sat next to them, you would fucking smell the evil. I shit you not. It oozes from them. You can see it oozing from Tony Blair now. He's that satanic. He's pretty much morphed into the devil himself. Honestly, look at the photo of Tony Blair. It's sickening. Honest to God. So yeah, you're in the right hands here. If you want to call out the SNP for who they really are, then you're more than welcome here. Anyone's welcome, to be fair. And you're more than welcome to engage anytime you want. Food Navigator, 2 weeks ago, so about 3 weeks ago now. Climate impact of food miles up to 7 times higher than previously thought. Oh dear, jacket's coming off for this one. Honestly. Even just looking at this, the headline, you can see where it's going, right? You can see exactly what it's about without even reading the article. You can see that it pretty much equates to transporting food, bad. Not transporting food, good, right? And of course, that's not going to help anyone, not with the system that they have created. We are interdependent, which we shouldn't be. And that is on that why I say potentially to get to where we need to be, we're going to have to take 2 steps back and completely annihilate the system that they built. And hopefully give birth to a better world, I guess. I don't think there's any saving this system that they've created. It is a system driven by greed, a society driven by greed. Each to their own, each man for himself, dog eat dog. That's not what we want, right? I don't think there's any fixing it. It's going to have to be either by them or by us. Well, either way, it's going to come down. It's coming down already. The House of Cards is coming down. And I'd imagine the people that are knocking it down are the people who fucking built it. A bit like the tombstones, the Georgia Guidestones. The House of Cards might be coming down, but I don't think it's the right people that are taking it down. And I've said this from the beginning. If the agenda is what we think it is, there's going to come a pivotal point. And we're not there yet, but when that point does come, it is going to be such a fucking crucial time. It's going to either go one way or the other. And that'll be the time when people really have to bite the bullet and make a stand. And hopefully it's going to go our way. Because they're going to have to show their hand again and again. And they had to show their hand with the plandemic. A lot of people got woken up by it because they seen it for what it was. They could not hide their intention, the lies, the deception. It could not be hidden. Unfortunately, we're going to see it again. I could be wrong, but I reckon this year they're going to pull another lockdown in the UK. I hope I'm wrong, and hey, to be honest, by the looks of it, they might do it this summer with a heat lockdown. I would not rule that out. Honestly, the way it's going at the moment, they are seriously pushing the heat wave stuff in the UK. It's unbelievable. Tony Blair, yeah. Yeah, he looks a bit... I mean, Jimmy Savile was another prime case, actually, in terms of oozing the evil. You could see the evil in the guy. You could genuinely see it. He was leaking evilness to that much of an extent that even looking at him made me cringe. It just, honestly. Jimmy Savile's a man that, I don't even like to call him a man, but he's an entity that I would happily serve a sentence for. Honestly, I would do it with a fucking smile on my face, knowing what that entity has done, the evil that he's caused. I would quite happily do 20 years to give him what he probably deserved. But hey, none of us escape, right? None of us escape. No one gets out free. You reap what you sow. No matter who or what you think you are, you will reap what you sow in the end. That is my opinion, at least, right? So you've got to try your best. If you give out what you get back, then giving out good stuff, doing good deeds, you're going to likely get that returned at some point. If you're giving out bad turns and doing, I don't know, the work of the devil, if you like, doing people over, you're going to get done over yourself. It's much like everything. It's a bit of a cycle. And I genuinely do believe what you put out, you're going to get back. Sometimes we don't see it until later. And then we realise, oh, actually, I did kind of get repaid for that. Anyway, went off on a wee bit there. Man, typical, right? So, yeah. This is clearly an issue. Findings revealed that 19% of global food system greenhouse gas emissions are caused by transportation. This is between 3.5 and 7.5 times higher than previously estimated. Who estimated it? Good question. And far exceeds the transport emissions of other commodities. Right, so not only is transportation bad, but the transportation of food is even worse compared to other commodities. Again, always look for two key elements. Is there even an agenda? And will it go somewhere? And this one is going somewhere, I can assure you, big time. The transportation of anything will eventually be demonized. Some of you might recall, I said about 2 years ago that I had this feeling that eventually the unvaccinated and motorists will be public enemy number one. And I'm standing by that claim still, honestly. I mean, the unjuiced, yeah, clearly. But some of you might recall me saying that. They will eventually turn on motorists and they'll try and shame them. And they'll basically shame anyone who is driving. Talk about tyranny, right? Honestly, that is, in my opinion anyway, that's the way it's going to be. They will demonize anyone with a petrol or diesel car. They'll be chasing you down the street, throwing electric batteries at you. You need to get one of these. Yeah, it's God's gift, right? These electric cars, sure. They've always got the solution. It's never the answer, unfortunately. Here's one here. 3 days ago from last Friday. The Sydney Morning Herald. World population to peak and decline sooner than previously thought. Now, this is quite an interesting one, right? What do we think about this one? The world's population to peak and decline sooner than previously thought. Dun, dun, dun. Who'd have thought it, right? Who'd have thought the world's population would have the syndrome? Shock horror. So what they're saying is it's going to peak. I mean, how could they tell that? How do they know that? Not only is it going to peak, but it's then going to decline and continue to decline. I shouldn't laugh. I really shouldn't. But I mean, it is so predictable. We genuinely could have fucking predicted this about a year ago by using the syndrome. I thought we could expand on it a wee bit. I see, well, that's not good for me because I was wanting to buy a second-hand one. I was hoping they would go down in price. There you go. Oh, well. You can't win, right? You really can't. So let's expand on it a wee bit. The latest update of the UN's World Population Prospects confirms we are now in sight of a time when the human population will cease to grow and be in ongoing decline. Yep, ongoing decline. It's going to cease to grow. Are people understanding this, do you think? Who's not getting this? And I mean, there we were, only not even a week ago. And some people saying, yay, the Georgia Guidestones got taken down, yay. And I thought, well, yeah, it's probably not cause for celebration. In fact, it'll be the opposite. Because if they have took them down, it will be a case of job done. Mission accomplished. And this article here pretty much tells us that, yep, it is mission accomplished. That is, at least if the population does peak, cease to grow, and then go in a rapid, steady decline, which is pretty much what I'm expecting it to do. I'm seeing it. There's staff shortages right across the world. It's not a shortage of staff, it's a shortage of people. In its 2017 update, the UN projected the world's population would reach 11.2 billion in 2100 and still be growing. The 2019 revision indicated the world's population may peak at 10.9 billion by 2100. The latest revision indicates the world's population may peak at 10.4 billion by 2080. Can you see what's happening there? I mean, come on, it's fucking pretty clear, right? I mean, unfortunately, everything that we've kind of predicted and dreaded that is going to happen, it's happening. It is happening now. I mean, what's it going to be? When was the latest revision? Well, they said they're 2019, and then I'd imagine maybe 2020. So they've not even probably done one for this year. It'll be down to 8 billion now, probably. And I'd imagine it's going to get less and less and less. How we combat this, I'm unsure. I guess reproducing, right? Don't look at me. Do not bloody look at me, whatever you do, because I can tell you right now, I've reproduced and I'm finished reproducing. I would never tie a knot in it, but I've not got the stamina to look after any more kids, right? So don't look at me, but yeah, I think the encouragement of reproduction is a good idea. But of course, the powers that be are going to be encouraging the complete opposite. They already are with their climate anxiety. I mean, what even is anxiety? Honestly, what is it? What's anxiety? Is it worry? Because if it's worry, people are wasting their fucking energy. Worry is a complete insignificance. Don't give it any time of day whatsoever. Leave the worrying to someone else. Honestly, I've never understood anxiety. But I know a lot of people get it quite bad. And it's a shame. It really is a shame. I mean, people get it that bad, they can't go out. They won't go to the shop. They won't do normal things because they're too, what they call, anxious. When I think really they just need to get on with it. And I know that can sound harsh, but they're likely worrying about things that mean absolutely nothing. And I know it can be easier said than done. A lot of people, the mind is a very complex thing. It really is, but you can train it. You can train it personally to not be anxious, to not live in fear, to not live in worry. And if you can grasp that sort of training, you can direct yourself in a better way, being a bit more content, forgetting the worries. Honestly, don't waste your time on worry. It'll get you nowhere. Concentrate more on the now, today, the people about you, where you see yourself tomorrow. And yeah, smoke weed every day. Da-da-da-da-da. Atlantis classic. You couldn't have timed that any better, right? I don't know why I'm giving advice, because I'm probably the last person you should come to for advice. But I mean, I have picked up a lot of good advice in my life, and I certainly wouldn't hesitate on sharing it. I think it's good if we can share, especially experiences in your life, basically, with people. I mean, some people, they don't, which is fine. They think, oh, I don't want to be telling people about my life. I get that, to be fair. I do understand it. But with me, it's a wee bit different. I tend to be a bit of an open book. Probably not a good idea, but I like to listen as well. And if I can help anyone, I'll certainly help. I just had my last 2 comments deleted by the censors. Where did that go? There it goes there. By the thought police at YouTube. Where is it? Is there any comments that I can see? Tony. Oh, what have I done? Was it this one, maybe? The worst is still to come with digital currency. What a globalist parasite's wet dream. Yeah, I shouldn't laugh, but It's good to see that we've still got a sense of humor, right? But you're right, yeah. It is. It really is a tyrannical wet dream when it comes to a digital currency. And that is pretty much here. Let's face it. It's here in motion. All they need now is the collapse of money. That will come as well. The solution will be waiting in the wings. Cryptocurrency with an expiry date that you can't collect. Yay! You'll own nothing and be happy. I always think, I think of that when Klaus Schwab said that. You'll own nothing and be happy. I was thinking, yeah, you'll probably, what they'll have is, like, they'll be spraying LSD from wee drones and everyone will just be tripping out their head, happy as Larry, not a care in the world. No value to anything, just completely wrecked on LSD. So you'll own nothing and you'll be happy. Yeah, because you'll all be tripping out your head. What a world, right? Of course, that's just me playing with my imagination, but I mean, we're already in that world. People already turn to drugs to escape the reality we're in. And I'm not even talking about just weed, smoking weed. I mean, that's pretty common now. Pretty much like cigarettes now, smoking weed. But hard drugs, proper hard drugs, like cocaine, heroin, crack. I mean, once you fucking get involved with that, you really are asking for trouble. Honestly, I have seen so many people go down that road, never come back, dead, most of them now. One of them, my best friend, he took a heroin overdose. I never even knew that he was taking heroin. Of course, he would have hid it from me because he would have known that I would not have been happy about it. I certainly would not have been fucking happy because I knew even then how dangerous it was. My oldest brother lost a friend when he was about 16. I must have only been about 10 at the time, and that was a heroin overdose. Even since a young age, I've seen people lose their life too early through drugs. And they think it's great taking these drugs. Of course, that's a lot of the young people. It comes with the territory, especially in Scotland. You're going to be probably drinking alcohol and taking recreational drugs at a young age. Now, the majority of people, they tend to do it when they're a teenager and then just that's it. They know that they're better off without whatever it is. But a lot of people, they tend to end up hooked. They're hooked on it. It becomes a way of life. But then you also get people who they've never touched drugs in their life, not even at school. But then they have a bad experience later in life, or they wake up to the realization that they're being fucked over by the government. And then they turn to drugs or alcohol. And that's an escape for them. So we're already pretty much there, but it's going to be tenfold, right, in years to come. Yeah, without a doubt, one of the biggest, if not the biggest, in Scotland. Honestly, it is so bad. Yeah, streets of Aberdeen. I can imagine that. Yeah, everywhere you go, smelling all the different strains. You can smell it a mile away. I usually, when I'm out walking the dog, I usually pass a few windows and it's like, yep, someone's smoking a joint. Bob Marley playing in the background. But I mean, Elgin's the same. Weed very common now. Very, very common. Even more so than about 10 years ago. I think it's probably only a matter of time before they legalize it in the UK. I don't think that's far away, to be honest. where did we get to? I'm getting distracted, right? We're all right because we're not that pushed for time. We've still got about 20 minutes. I don't want to go past 8:30, right? I travelled to Scotland, always smelled it in Oban a lot. Yeah, they like their weed in Oban, right? I bet they do. Yeah, I can imagine it. What's the most deadly drug? Plenosum you have at the moment in Scotland. Is that problem? I think there's actually a real bad crack epidemic. I think crack cocaine is really bad at the moment, but heroin has been the major problem drug for many, many years in Scotland. But I think crack cocaine is taken off as well, especially in the big cities. Yeah, crack. From what I've been hearing, I think I mentioned it before. I know someone who has a relative who works in Glasgow Hospital, the big one. And she said that there was a lot of people with drug issues or people passing away. And I said, oh, that'll be heroin. And she said, no, it's crack cocaine. I think she might have called it something else, but it was crack. And I thought, fuck, Jesus. So it's not just heroin now, it's crack cocaine is a big problem. They'll probably legalise that as well. A wee crack den, illegal crack den, legal even crack den. You can imagine it, right? I mean, what do you say to these people? I don't know. Who am I to tell people how to live their life? But it's such a shame to see people, good people, turn into an absolute wreck of a human being. It's heartbreaking. It really is. But that's what happens, unfortunately. And it is a big problem in Scotland. Yeah, well, I think that could be, it could be that. It could be crystal, it was crystal meth or crack. Is that the same thing? I'm unsure. It shows you how much I know, but it was one of them. So maybe it is already hit Scotland in a big way, because I was quite shocked because I thought it would have been heroin, but it's not. It was either crack or crystal meth. So I'd imagine it's already blighted many, many families. Let me crack on now, right? And then we'll get a wee catch up. So, in other words, the UN has reduced its projected peak world population by about 800 million and brought forward the date for its peak by 20 years. The UN's projections are now much closer to those by researchers at the University of Washington, who suggested 2 years ago that the human population would peak at significantly less than 10 billion by 2065, decline to less than 9 billion by 2100, and keep declining. The world population is about 8 billion. Yeah. So what do people make of that? It's going to keep declining, shock horror. Did anyone not see that coming? Here's a couple of rapid than previously thought from last week, 2 weeks ago, a month ago. The Express 1 week ago. Ukraine death toll. Why numbers could be far higher than... Yep, you guessed it. Of course, it would be never far less than previously thought. Nope, they decide. The Independent 1 month ago. Galaxies in the earlier universe could be far bigger than we previously thought. What? I thought they knew about space and galaxies and stuff like that. Yeah, don't hold your breath on that one, right? Science Tech Daily 2 weeks ago. Humans here much better underwater than previously thought. But honestly, that cracked me up. Who did they get to do that study? The astronauts, I'd imagine. They got the lads in the International Space Station to do it. We've done a test underwater. You can hear underwater. How much did they spend on that, right? Wonders will never cease. Your brain is, quote, hotter than previously thought, study says. Your brain is hotter than previously thought 1 week ago. Now, ain't that one quite an interesting one, right? I mean, how could they get that wrong? I find that quite interesting, especially with the mass rollout of things like 5G. And we know what sort of effects come hand in hand with radiation. Cooking eyeballs like eggs. Yeah. Keep that in mind, if you pardon the pun. So, I think, this cracked me up. Did we see this? Man. Honestly. Fucking hell. Did we see this magnificent picture from the billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars telescope? The James Webb telescope. This is genuinely what I thought we would get. It was pretty much exactly what I had in my mind, which is weird. I thought, yeah, it's going to be like a kid's drawing of all these different galaxies. And you're not going to make anything out whatsoever. And it's like I've mentioned before, it's never, ever, ever what we want to see or expect to see. And I had a look at this and I zoomed into different bits and I thought, wow, it's comical. It's honestly comical. But seemingly, it's a NASA photo of the universe. I don't know. It's certainly not someone's kitchen worktop, right? Of course, yeah, it looks like a kitchen worktop, pretty much. There you go. We found it. We found the James Webb telescope. It's in my kitchen. I mean, it is. It's quite comical, right? We're going to expand on James Webb a wee bit more in the future. Let me think. Not this week, but next week we'll get into James Webb a wee bit more. The satellite. No, the satellite. The telescope. Seemingly it's a telescope, right? There's another live that I want to do, hopefully this week. And it's about a place called Point Nemo. Has anyone heard of it? Point Nemo. I'd imagine people have heard of it. Quite an interesting place, Point Nemo, right? Of course, there's the movie Finding Nemo. And there's a place called Point Nemo. Quite an interesting place. And it's a place that no one can go to. No one can get there. What? Yeah. No one can go there. No one can get there. Don't even attempt to do it. No one can. But it's there. Not only is it a place that's there, and a place that no one can get to, it's also where all this space junk ends up. Man. Honestly, it is comical. It is so funny. I did wonder where it all went, right? Because it's not in fucking space, that's for sure. But seemingly, There is a space junk graveyard called Point Nemo where no one can go. It's all very fitting and non-transparent. And it is quite an interesting one, right? So I'm hoping in the next few days we'll get into Point Nemo. There is another live that I'm working on. It'll be one or the other. We certainly will be back again this week. But if you've never heard of Point Nemo, you might want to check it out. Justine's heard of it, the movie, and Point Nemo. Captain Nemo is 2,000 leagues under the sea. Ah, so that's where he is. Under the sea. What else have I got? Let me see. Good to have Atlantis back in the hood and the roof as well. Sue Sprain. Good to see you back again. Let me see. I find it funny that the president could call the moon on a landing plane, on a landline even phone. Fucking hell. Oh man. On a landline phone in the 60s. But now we need 5G towers everywhere. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I mean, that phone call, right? Ah, man. And then that video that I played at the start. Did you hear about the All-Star game? They were on the fucking moon. How are they going to hear about the All-Star game? But they did. Yeah, we heard about the rain. This is Armstrong talking about the rain that delayed the baseball game. And he said, yeah, well, we haven't learned how to control the weather yet, but that's for tomorrow's job. Then you never heard from Armstrong for about 10 years. They shut him up after that, right? Tomorrow's job, manipulating the weather. Who'd have thought it? Anyway, I think, let me see. Is that it? Double check. Yeah. 23 slides we went through. I think possibly tomorrow night or Monday night I will be... No, wait. That's the same day. Tomorrow night or Tuesday night. I'm blaming the bike knock, right? Tomorrow or Tuesday night. Of course, I would never know because I was stupid before. I knocked my head. So I'm never going to know now. And there's no point in doing a brain scan because there's nothing there. It's just a tumbleweed. But there you go. But yeah, we'll go for either Monday night or Tuesday night. I'll be back again. I am hoping to get my good friend Metin Warwick, who is big into growing at the moment. He's a great guy. You're going to love him. I'm hoping to get him on this week. So that one might be as and when. So you'll just have to look out for it, but it will be live. So keep an eye out. Make sure you've hit the bell, right? And you'll get notified. Hopefully, you'll get notified, but you can never be sure with YouTube. So I think that's pretty much it. Hopefully everyone has a great week. And like I always say, get out there, have a bit of fun, do things that you enjoy. If you know there's something that you enjoy doing that you've not done, go do it. Whatever you do, do not stay in and watch the media. Do not watch the news. Not even the local news. Switch it off. Don't bother. Honestly, save your energy. All they'll want to do is confuse you, put you in a state of fear. And like I always say, never, ever, not for a split second, even entertain the thought of being fearful. Don't do it. Don't go there. Just stay strong. Keep your head high, right? Keep it as high as you can. Walk tall. And if you do ever feel down, dig deep for the strength. Bounce back. You'll have it in you. If you've made it this far, you're a warrior. Put it that way. So I'm very grateful to everyone tonight. I always get shocked that people even join. but we have a good time, right? We cover a fair bit, and we get a wee catch up in the comments if I can read them. And it's always good to say hello. So thank you again to Sue and to Lynn and to our brother Gary and Scott as well. Great to see you. And Davey back again. Davey A. And of course Frank. He's part of the furniture here, right? Our brother Frank. I think I mentioned you at the start, so you might want to check it back. And Justine as well. Devo, a pleasure to see you. And Zoo Scott back again. Always a pleasure. Our brother Tony, great stuff. Good to have you in the hood. Thank you for your continued support. Atlantis Rising podcast. Thanks very much. Get subscribed as well. If anyone can put in a link, if any of the moderators want to share a link, now's your chance to pop one in before we wind it down. Who else did I see? I think I got everyone. Roof as well, yeah. Good to see Roof back again. Hit me up anytime, Roof. If I missed you, Carmel, just there you go. I was coming on much earlier than previously thought, yeah. I'm a victim of my own syndrome, pretty much. Yeah. If you missed it, you might want to catch up on replay, right? But it's great to have you anyway. I'll be back again either tomorrow night or Tuesday night, right? So it's a pleasure. Wait a minute, where's Rich? There's Carmel, but no Rich. Wonders will never cease. He'll be there somewhere, right? He's got his hands tied, but he's listening. He's watching. It's only 7-Eleven here in New Zealand. 7-Eleven. Where have we seen that before? I think Elon Musk tweeted the 7-Eleven. And then I think on 7-Eleven there was a shooting. Did anyone hear about that? I did say lookouts on 7-Eleven, which is the 7th. Sorry, the 11th of the 7th. Wait a minute, actually. Is that not? That was the Monday, was it not? That I was going to do the live stream. And it was the anniversary of Lawrence Rockefeller's death. I'm going to have to look into that one a wee bit more. Anyway, without going away off on another whole new fucking live stream altogether, thank you very much to everyone again tonight. Let me see if I can find a tune. I am here in full bot form. Ta-da. Quickly get rid of him. I've still got my tan a wee bit, but it's fading, right? It's disappearing. I'm turning back to a Scottish blue. That's the way I like it, so it's good. Anyway, let me see if I can quickly grab a tune. And I will catch you all, hopefully, tomorrow night. Failing that, I will see you all on Tuesday. Until then, that is about it. Bye-bye. Now, it's not often I would do this, but I notice our brother Gary has asked for a shout out, and it is to Madeline. So, good evening, Madeline, and thank you for listening and joining us tonight. Hopefully, you've enjoyed it and you will be back again, right? There'll be plenty live streams to come, at least for the time being here on YouTube. But of course, like I said, have said before, I am on Odysee as well, right? So you can hit me up there anytime. But I'm always willing to say hello to any new listeners and any regular, right? So without further ado, we will get back to the bagpipes, right? We love a bit of bagpipes here. The bagpipes is not for everyone, but I quite like it. I think actually we'll go with the Amazing Grace, right? We'll see it. We'll see the show out with Amazing Grace. So, this time, until next time, that is about it. Bye-bye.
How sweet the sound that saved a wretch like